What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the 2x4. I was inspired by Grateful Nerd made a cool video I caught on YouTube. He was talking about some harvest practices he used, kind of going over stuff he does, and I thought that was cool. And we all have different methods of kind of handling the madness of these things, this plant. So I wanted to go over kind of my pre-harvest checklist as we go into the ripening stage because I really do differentiate between flowering and ripening. To me, it's very different thing. Try to be quick as I can about this. First thing we're looking for, I know I'm a terrible artist. It's not very good, but it's all right. Water consumption. What is the water consumption like? Is she drinking 2 gallons a day? Nope. She's barely drinking at all now. Her water consumption has been reduced by half. That's going to be a big indicator that she is getting near the finish line. So that's simple enough. Pistils changing, receding. Yes, we're getting that. But not enough. This looks good. I mean, you could make an argument. This is day 80 for Queen's Banner. Let me just back up a second. So we could make an argument here. This plant's looking pretty close, and it is. It's not far, but it's, in my opinion, a minimum of 10 more days is how long this is going to go. So she's going to go to at least day 90 because I want to see all these pistils receded into the bud. I don't want to really see them sticking out. On the tops that are closest to the light, sometimes that's hard to get, but that's what we're shooting for. Okay, so keep that in mind. I see way too many people harvesting plants too early, and I know that's a personal preference, but you know, right is right and wrong is wrong. I'm sorry, but a lot of people are just harvesting too soon. All right. Trichome development. Of course, that's the big one everybody looks at. Problem I see with that is most people are not looking all over the plant and into the inside of the bud structure. You're going to see a lot of amber on the sugars, the sugar leaves, and that's indicative of nothing. That means fuck. So don't do that. When you come down here and look at these bottoms, we want to see the same. We don't want to see underdeveloped bottoms, even if our top colas are developed a little further. So I personally, and I know I'm going to get kickback on this, I like about 20% amber on my flower. That's just what I go with. I like that. All right. So keep that in mind. Color changes. This is kind of hit or miss because I've harvested lots of plants that stay green the whole time. The Kim is coming out really hard in this. Queen's Banner is Cosmic Queen times Bruce Banner, and the Cosmic Queen is Space Dog times Kim Dog. A lot of Kim Dog coming out in this. That's for another video. So color changes, like this one's still pretty green. It's starting to fade a little bit, but nothing, no major beautiful color changes yet. I don't really expect to see that. So that can be an indicator, the senescence of the plant, but it can also mean a lot of other things. I've seen a lot of people say they're getting a good fade when in reality their fucking plant's been starving for 2 months, and that's not a fade, by the way. So just make sure you keep that in mind. Flowering time. Probably the least thing people care about, but is it within the range of its flowering time? Okay, that's simple. So that's kind of the basics of what your pre-harvest ripening stage questions should start becoming. And now I'm going to tell you what I do for these last 10 to 14 days, which I consider the ripening stage, and I treat it completely different from normal flowering, even though this is an autoflower. Number one, a lot of people do this. We're going to drop temps into the low 70s and the high 60s if we can get it. That's going to help preserve smells, terpenes, flavonoids, all those big words. It's going to start bringing out a little bit of color in your flower, hopefully. So we want to drop temps. I'm getting a lot of pushback on this. Drop PPFD under 400. I cut my lights back in half for the ripening stage. I don't want to try to get this plant to photosynthesize under super heavy PPFD. I don't think that's the right thing to do. It's perfectly fine if you disagree with that. So I drop my PPFD, which in return helps me drop my temperature. It also signals to the plant, excuse me, I'm sorry, I have a cold. Signals to the plant that maybe it's winter's coming, blah, blah, blah. You know, we want to trick the plant. We're growing indoors. We want to trick this plant into believing that it's time for her to really express herself and finish up. And we want to finish up strong, man. We don't want to spend all this time growing this plant and then fuck it up right at the end. So here's something else I do that most people, I don't really hear a lot about. Initiating a 12-12 light cycle for ripening. And I do this on my autoflowers. This plant has gone 24 hours of light its whole time. But now we're dropping 12-12. The 12 hours the light's on, she's getting that low PPFD. And then of course she's getting nothing in the dark period. And I think this to me I've seen the biggest result out of doing that. Anecdotally, I know. But yes, I see the smell of the plant changes. And this thing is just reeks of Kim, which is great. I'm very happy about that. Excuse me. No more newts, plain water. If you're using newts, which I was on this run, I'm going to cut those out completely. I'm just going to use dehumidifier water, so kind of like poor man's distilled RO, to finish her out, because she's not drinking that much anyway. So whatever the dehu pulls, she'll get. Maximizing airflow, remove fan leaves. I do this during the ripening stage. 99% of the fan leaves are gone off this plant already. I did it yesterday or the day before. Sorry, excuse me. That helps with humidity. That helps with airflow. I've got a fan down there blowing up through the canopy. I've got one here that's not on right now, but that's oscillating. And I got one over the light that's oscillating in the above. Maximization of airflow is super important, especially at this stage. So, RH between 50 and 60. I don't tend to get crazy. I think anything between 50 and 60% humidity is fine. I mean, we cure these plants and we dry these plants at 60 degrees. I'm still not sure why people think you've got to drop your humidity to like fucking 25, 35, 40% in flower. I don't think that's smart, and I don't think the plant really likes it. And I've never seen any ill effects from keeping it right around 50 to 60. So we talked about 20% amber. The other thing and the last thing that I learned a long time ago is this silver look. This shiny silver look that the plants really start to get. Like when you take those nighttime pictures and the plant just looks like it's covered in like the silver blue haze. That is the reflection of the cloudy trichome heads, giving it this beautiful silver look that you want on your plant. So, this video has been long enough, but there we go. Autopirate's pre-harvest checklist and things I do in the ripening stage. I hope this helps. Feel free to kick back, talk about it. If you don't like something or if you disagree, that's cool. Tell me what you do. And we'll see you guys later. Have a great day.